Pagita mo?
Okay, so again, let's discuss the use of visuals. How are you going to incorporate objects in your speech later on? So, in order for you to capture the interest of your audience. These are our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to first list down examples of visuals that are used in public speaking. Next, explain the importance of visuals or importance of using visuals in public speaking. And of course, you should be able to use a specific type of visuals as a supplement in your speech later on. So, for this specific lesson, or for this specific lesson, your output is a speech, a recorded speech wherein you are using visuals or you are using objects. So before we move on to the meat of our discussion, I want you to read this one. Everybody please read. Start.
If you wear clothes that don't suit you, you're a fashion victim. You have to wear clothes that make you look better.
Okay, that's true, no? If you wear clothes that don't suit you, people would judge you as, or would have a tendency to say that you are a fashion victim. However, you have to understand now its connection when it comes to public speaking. Especially when it comes to the use of visuals. You have to wear the clothes that make you look better. Same is true when it comes to public speaking, specifically with the use of visuals. You have to wear the appropriate, or you have to make use of the appropriate visuals in order to make your speech better. Later on, it's all up to you to decide which kind or what kind of visuals to use in order to supplement the content of your speech. Just like how you would want yourself to look like wearing a specific clothing that you choose. So what are visuals? Visuals refer to any type of content that can be seen. That's why we call it visuals. It's something that can be seen, that can be perceived by the eyes, which include images, the use of videos, graphs, charts, and even design elements like your choice of colors and certain type of typography. These are used to convey information, illustrate concepts, or evoke emotions. Visuals serve as powerful tools for communication, which aid in the understanding of complex ideas, which gears towards the enhancement of the overall appeal of the message. You have to understand that when we speak about visuals, these are objects that are used in order to supplement the content of your speech. Visuals are not there in order to overpower your speech. Rather, visuals are there in order to help you communicate the message that you want to relay or the message that you want to convey to your audience. So, you have to remember, do not overly depend on the visuals for your speech. Okay? The speech should stand on its own, and the visuals are just there in order to help you explain, to help you relay complex information or ideas to your audience. Now, there are different types of visuals. The first one are slides. Okay? So you make use of Microsoft PowerPoint to display key points, to display data, images, or even show videos to your audience. And when you use slides, it can include text in there. It can include graphics. As I mentioned a while back, You can even include images or videos. So, while performing your speech, you can actually show PowerPoint slides to supplement what you are talking about. Say, for example, your topic involves hunger, no? So while you are presenting your speech, while you are talking about hunger, you may present images or videos in your through your Microsoft PowerPoint slides to further explain or evoke emotions among your audience regarding hunger. Next, you may also present or you may also use charts and graphs. Charts and graphs are visual representations of numerical data, numbers. They are numbers in the forms of charts and graphs, which are commonly used to make numerical information more understandable and memorable. Okay? So instead of you presenting numbers to show differences, or if you want to compare data or numbers, instead of just plainly presenting them using numbers, you may present them using charts, you may present them using graphs. Aside from that, you can also make use of pictures, as I mentioned a while back, or photographs. So these are visuals in the form of images and photographs that illustrate concepts, provide examples, or even evoke emotions that should complement the spoken content. Again, I want to reiterate that you have to be very, very picky when it comes to the use of pictures. They must be appropriate to your topic or your speech. Okay? Hindi basta-basta na nag-represent ka ng picture. Ito, meron to sa Google, present ko nga. Hindi naman pala siya relevant dun sa speech or topic. Hindi yun pwede. Next, again, you may use of short video clips or animations to engage your audience. Remember, most of the audience are visuals. No? They tend to retain information more if the information is presented in visual form. Okay? Kaya importante na gumamit tayo ng visuals in order for us to really make sure that information is retained among our audience. Next, props. Props is actually a short term for properties. Props are physical objects. Okay? Or that are used to demonstrate, or if you want to reinforce a point, then you may use props. So, for example, later on, no, pwede kang gumamit ng pag yung speech mo talks about how to, say for example, how to make orange juice. Ano yung mga props na pwede mong gamitin? Orange fruit, juicer, baso, mga ganon. So those are props. Okay? You have to remember, there are topics that are better illustrated or better presented using props. Next, you can also make use of flip charts or what we call whiteboards. These are specifically used for smaller groups, no? Interactive connection between the speaker and a small group of or small number of people. So you may how do you call that one? You may include points in there. You could summarize points using these flip charts, key points, and these are actually used to engage your audience in real time. And of course, we have the use of infographics. These are informations in the form of visuals. Now, where lies the difference between infographics and versus charts and graphs? What do you think is the major difference? Yes, Alistair?
Yung picture na sa
charts, panay number, infographics, there's already the inclusion of pictures. Yes, Joel, please.
More on ano siya, sir.
More on?
Ay nga sir, sa charts and graphs, that's natin puro numerical data, tapos sa infographics, puro set, puro
Yes, that's correct. No? Infographic is more general in nature. It's more encompassing. Unlike for charts and graphs, they are more specific. What they represent, pertaining to charts and graphs, what they represent are just purely numerical data. Whereas for infographics, it's already information. Information, not infographics. And this information can include already numerical data. Next. Now, why is there a need for us to use visuals? First, presentation visuals grab an audience's attention and keep it. You have to remember that it's not only your goal to grab the attention of your audience, but also more of retaining or attention retention. Okay? Hindi lang dapat you grab the attention of your audience and you stop there. Dapat you are able to retain that attention all throughout your speech. And one way in order for you to keep your audience attention is through the use of visual. Next, presentation visuals make complex ideas easier to understand. Just as I have mentioned a while back, the use of infographics, no? They make data-heavy presentation easier to digest. Okay? So complex information or complex ideas can be represented in a simpler manner using infographics. Next, so instead of you explaining the processes that you should do during an earthquake, you can just present an infographic on that cover photo. No? Next, presentation visuals build emotional bridges with the audience. As I mentioned a while back, the use of provoking images and videos would create an emotional uproar among your audience. Say for example, you are talking about poverty, and one way in order for you to evoke such emotion of pity among your audience is to show them pictures. Hindi naman pwede or it's not practical for you, okay, to ask a poor family to come with you on stage and then tell your audience, okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of a poor family where your sir, where your mom have the children. No, you can just simply make use of images or videos to evoke emotional response from your audience. Next, presentation visuals help audience retain information. Researchers have found that information information retention in a span of 3 days is just 10% when the information is what? Heard. 35% if the information is in visual form. However, 65% of information is retained if information is heard, but at the same time with the help of visuals. That's how important visuals are in relation to information retention. You have to remember now, you are working so hard to present a speech, to inform your readers about a specific topic, only to find out that there is little to no retention of information. So make sure that there is a retention of information among your audience so that you can see that you have successfully presented the topic or your aim message for your speech. And of course, the last one is that presentation visuals keep your speech on track. No? They help you when it comes to organizing your speech. Okay? But you have to remember again, I have to reiterate it, your speech must not depend on the visuals. Solely depend on the visuals. Your speech must have to stand on its own, and at the same time, with the use of visuals, it could convey information or it could convey concepts more, okay, in a simpler, in a more digestible manner. Now, there are several points when it comes to the use of visuals. The first one, simplicity. Make sure that you use simple visuals. General rule of thumb, okay, there should never be more than 3 information, or never ever have 1 to 3 information in one visual. Okay? The tendency is that your audience will find it very hard to process such information. Okay? Dapat nga 1:1 correspondence. You make use of a visual in order to explain a concept, not several concepts. Ganun. Okay? Para hindi malito yung audience nyo. Next, size. Yes! Even in public speaking, size matters. Okay? No matter how expensive your visuals are, if they are not seen or they are hardly seen by the audience at the back, walang kwenta yung visuals. Make sure that all of the members of the audience can see your visuals. Next, attractiveness. When it comes to attractiveness, we are pertaining to both content and appearance. No? You have to remember that even if you are using simple visuals, make sure that it is presentable when you use it on the stage. Okay? So for example, you are planning to make use of an apple. Okay? You're planning to make use of an apple as your visuals for your speech. Make sure that the apple is shiny. Okay? Tas wala naman daw dapat siyang kagat, hindi naman apple na inuukol. Okay? So yun yung tinatawag natin attractiveness. It is attractive both on the appearance outside and the content. Next, appropriateness. Appropriateness has something to do with visuals that are really specific for that topic. No? Hindi pwede na for the sake of just using visuals, gamit ka na kung ano-ano. Hindi naman siya appropriate sa topic mo. Okay? Avoid offending your audience because of your visuals. There are visuals that are offensive. So you have to take into consideration that. Next, reliability. How do we explain this one? Reliability has something to do with the use of visuals during the performance. Visuals can also be in the form of an animal, specifically when you make use of a dog or a pet or a cat. It can also be using humans, other people, or other gadgets. Now, reliability comes in when you make sure that when you use that particular visuals on your speech, it has to work. Okay? It has to work. No? For example, gumamit ka ng aso as your visuals for your speech later on, eh biglang nakatakas. Eh di wala, hindi na reliable yung visual mo. So make sure that you have to check on those things. Next, practice. Always practice with your visual aids before your speech. Hindi pwede na on that particular moment mo palang gagamitin yung visuals. What if hindi gumana? What if may kailangan ka pa palang gawin? Okay, so always practice. Okay? Next, make sure that your visuals are addition to your speech, not a distraction. Again, as I mentioned a while back, they should complement, supplement your speech, not distract them. Okay? Kaya dyan pumapasok yung tinatawag natin, the visuals should adhere to progressive revelation. What are we talking about when we speak about progressive revelation? Okay? Ilalabas mo lang yung visuals mo kung kailan mo siya kailangan. Nakuha? Yun yung idea ng progressive revelation. Your audience should never see your visual aid until you are ready to use it, until you are ready to reference it. For example, babalik tayo dun sa visual aid mo na aso. Okay? Hindi mo pa pala siya gagamitin, pero nilabas mo na siya. There is a tendency that your visual, instead of supplementing your speech, already becomes a distraction there. Okay? Ay, ang cute ng aso. Gusto ko ng ganyang aso. So, na-focus na yung attention ng audience dun sa visuals mo instead dun sa content ng speech mo. So, ilalabas mo lang yung visuals mo kung kailan mo siya kailangan. Do you understand? Yes. Questions? Right. So, those are the different types of visuals. Those are the different kinds of visuals. Okay? So, no more questions? Okay? You can stop recording. Okay?